Now, we've covered solar on this channel over the past 3 years, I just felt the need to cover it again because I'm seeing some developments in Ghana. Hey guys, welcome to AsherGad channel, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Trust you are all doing well, wherever you are on the four corners of this planet, making your dreams become a reality, one step at a time on this lovely continent that is Africa. All right, it's been a while. Welcome to another 6 p.m. on Tuesday GMT. Before I go any further, I just want to say thanks to all our subscribers, to our PayPal and Patreon families respectively, for all your comments, donations, and all the people who have made requests via AGC. All right. Today's video is all about solar. Now, we've covered solar on this channel over the past 3 years, I just felt the need to cover it again because I'm seeing some developments in Ghana. With ECG, the prices these days are horrendous. And really, I think solar is making a new wave. It's making a real sort of new wave, and people are really getting more and more into it. And I guess at this point in time, I don't blame them because of what's going on with ECG. But let's just get straight into it and let's put down some facts and see if I can help some of you guys make an informed decision. Okay, so I think about 3 years ago, we did a video on solar. And if you haven't watched that video, please click up here to watch that video. About 3 or 3.5 years ago. And at that point in time, we considering, obviously, you've always got to consider reliability. You've always got to consider your initial expenditure, your initial capital expenditure, and what to buy and the cost of it. How it's going to be maintained, the warranties involved, the brands involved. And I guess 3.5 years ago, when we first did that video, the overall picture for me was that it wasn't really worth it to get the solar. It was just far too expensive. I remember 3.5 years ago when I first got a quotation from a couple of companies for, I think it was only about 5 kilowatt system, and I was being quoted approximately 200,000 cedis and more. Approximately 200,000 cedis and more, which is about, in conversion wise, about $17,000 for a 5 kilowatt inverter system. That was just, I thought that was horrendous. That was 3 years ago. And then, obviously, there's a lot of sun in Ghana, so we really want to make this work. For people. The solar companies really want to make it work. We have to make it more affordable, make use of the sun, and just give us an alternative to ECG. So about 1.5 years ago, I did another video which talked about how to make your solar system cheaper, especially on day one, and then upgrade it gradually. Okay. And if you haven't watched that video, please click up here to watch that video. And in that video, I talked about, okay, look at your house, look at what you want to power on solar. If you want your whole house on solar, then make sure you buy the right inverter. If you want just the essential items on solar, again, buy the right inverter. And then when it comes to the batteries and the solar panels, you can decide to buy a few batteries on day one, and then you can add the batteries as you go along. Okay. You can decide to not even buy any solar panels on day one. You can just have the inverter and then a few batteries. Add the batteries as you go along and add the solar panels whenever you want to add them. Okay, so you've got all these options or ways to spread the cost, and that was the aim of my video that I did, I think, about 1.5 years ago. But anyway, if you click that link that I put up earlier on, you can review it. Okay, but nowadays there is increased competition, and especially with the ECG unreliability. Dumsor is back again. People are struggling depending on the areas you live. But most importantly, over the last 12 months, the ECG tariff has increased by about 75%. Okay, I'll do a separate video covering ECG tariffs, the charges, and how to assess to make sure that you are paying the right amount for the consumption on your meter. I'll do a separate video on that. It's quite simple. Okay, but the ECG tariff has increased by 75% over the last 12 months. Let me give you 2 examples of that. I have a customer who has a 4-bedroom house. The house is literally empty. They've only got a caretaker there. So basically, it's only the external lighting that comes on only at night that needs power. And I think he has a medium-sized freezer that's on, one of these 500 liter type freezers that he's left on. And with only that, nothing else on, with only that, yeah, he is paying, or they are paying, 350 cedis a month. He has to put on 350 cedis a month onto the meter. This is literally an empty house. That's example number 1. Example number 2 is a fully occupied home, and a lady called me the other day in quite some distress because, you know, they're paying far too much, but it's ridiculous. She said they're paying between 100 and 150 cedis per day. Between 100 and 150 cedis per day, which is about 4,000 to 4,500 cedis per month, which is about £300, or maybe about $400 a month. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So ECG prices is becoming an issue, number 1, and well, their reliability has always been an issue anyway. So that's not new. Okay, so this is what is driving. I mean, I'm getting a lot of calls from customers who want to really, now they're fed up right now, and they really want to go down the solar route now. And the generator is although it's cheaper, you know, it's loud, diesel and petrol and operating machinery and the risk that comes with it. Obviously, they want to be more sustainable, so they want to use the free energy that we have from the sun. And if they can get it more affordable, okay, even obviously it's always going to be a little bit more expensive than a generator, but if you can get it as affordable as possible, then our clients are looking to go down the solar route, which I understand. So let me share with you some recent quotations. Some recent quotations that I've seen from some of our clients. There was one I saw for, I've got it written down here, 20 kilowatts. This is 20 kilowatts. So this particular lady was looking to try to support her entire home on the solar system using a hybrid inverter, and that 20 kilowatts, she was using the Victron type inverter, which is a very, 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 very good brand. Okay, and but the cost is coming out at about $40,000. Okay, the equivalent of about $40,000, which is huge. You know, that can go a long way to buying a couple of lands and, you know, building a house. You know, that's huge, really, really, really huge. And that's where the brands come into play. You know, you can go for a Victron inverter, you can go for, you know, a Huawei inverter or Fidelity inverter. There are other manufacturers out there. You know, it's like, and as long as what you want to focus on is the functionality. Does the inverter, the brand I'm going for, have the same functionality as the Victron inverter, for example? You know, and do some research on the brand. Has it been used for a while? Is it reliable? Because there's other brands that are equally as reliable, perform the same functions, but without that brand name inflated price increase. You know what I mean? Just like comparing a Jaguar car. Let's say you got a Jaguar 4x4 against a Renault Kadjar. Okay, those in the UK will know the Renault Kadjar. Yeah, very nice car, very it's affordable, quality car, reliable car, really nice car. But obviously, it's much cheaper than the Jaguar. But the functionality, you're still getting from A to B. So it all depends on how you look at things. Do you want the gold-plated inverter, Jaguar, or are you happy with the Renault Kadjar that is still good, still lasts the same amount of time, still give you the same functionality, but without the brand price on it? Or Ford or Hyundai, still very good cars, not up to Jaguar level, but still quality. Okay, so that is something that you will have to decide yourself as the person wanting the solar system. Okay, I want to share with you about the essential services, what it means to support the essential services, and why I always recommend that, and the prices I've had back recently for a 10 kilowatt system. But before I do that, let's just go for a quick break and we'll be right back.
Are you looking to build your dream home in Ghana? Or are you building already? Would you benefit from regular site visits to monitor your building and receive regular progress reports? Well, if that's the case, and that's you, look no further. AsherGad Consultancy at your service. We offer the following services: electrical design, construction monitoring inspections, site progress reports, consultation for all items MEP, witnessing of testing and commissioning, periodic snagging, vetting of specialist subcontractors. We also report site activities to you to hopefully help you spend your money efficiently, and much, much more. Get in contact for your building needs. Details on the screen. AsherGad Consultancy, making Africa home again, one family at a time.
Welcome back, guys. So when it comes to solar, again, in terms of making it more affordable, what I normally advise people who ask me is, you don't necessarily need to support your entire home with solar. For me, that's not necessary. What is necessary is supporting your essential items, your critical items, of which I've written some down. What are those critical items? All your lighting, all your internal and external lighting, because you want to see where you're going. Number 2, your fridge and your freezers. They are essential to keep your food cold. Your security system for your safety, CCTV, electric fence, okay? Your electric gate, and even that, you can operate it manually, so that's a choice. Ceiling fans, okay, to keep ventilation, keep air movement within the home. These are your bare essential items, and these bare essential items can be fully supported with, let's say a 10 kilowatt inverter. A 10 kilowatt system can support all of this without any issue. Even a 5 kilowatt system could support all of these items without any issue. A 5 kilowatt system, inverter system, can support these. And your system can be configured so that the solar supports only the essential items. If you have an existing distribution board, the expert can come along, and if it's a 3-phase board, they can come along and reconfigure it so that all the essential items are on one phase, and that one phase is supported via the inverter through a changeover. Okay, they can do it that way, but there are many other ways of doing it to keep your cost down by giving you the same impact that you want. Okay, so there are some other, those are the bare essential items, 5 kilowatts. If you want to add onto those essential items, but not too much, okay, let's say you want to add 1 or 2 air conditioning units. Okay, maybe one in the master bedroom, one in the living room, or one in the master bedroom, one in the kitchen. Yeah, if you want to add 2 or at most 3 air conditioning units, not more than 2 horsepower, let's say, to the system, then I would say in that case you'd move up to, let's say, the 10 kilowatt inverter system. Okay, you'd move up to the 10 kilowatt inverter system. Okay, if after the essentials plus, let's say the 2 air conditioning units, you're on the 10 kilowatt inverter system. If after that, stage 3, you wanted to add more, maybe a 3rd air conditioning unit, or maybe you wanted to add your water pumps, okay, to there as well, and everything else, that's when I would recommend then you go to the 20 kilowatt inverter system. So let's start again. Stage 1 or phase 1 or option 1, bare essential items that you need to survive in the home, or you need to operate the home. 5 kilowatt inverter system, fine. Option 2, bare essential items plus 2 air conditioning units operational. 2 or 3, depending on the horsepower. If it's 1.5 horsepower or a mixture of 1.5 and 2, then maybe you can get away with 3 air conditioning units on there, and there you go with let's say the 10 kilowatt inverter system. That's option 2. Option 3, to support your entire home, okay, and I'm basing this on a 4-bedroom house, by the way. To support your entire home, that's when you'd go for the 20 kilowatt inverter system, which would support, far more air conditioning units operating at the same time, maybe up to about 5 or 6 even, depending on the horsepower operating at the same time, in addition to your water pumps. Okay, but here's one thing to note. When you are buying your air conditioning units, if you know that you're going to support them on solar, make sure you buy the inverter type. The air conditioning has to be the inverter types, okay? If it's not the inverter types, then it will cause you issues with the solar operation, okay? That's the main thing to be aware of. Number 2, regarding the water pumps. All right, guys, so as I was saying, regarding the water system, again, you need to understand how your house operates if you want to be economical. My house, or our house, for instance, I do not need my water pumps on the solar system. Not at all. Why? Because I've got a tank on the roof. If there's no power, I still get water into my house at a good pressure by just gravity. Okay? By just gravity. So if you have a similar system, then you do not need to put the water pumps on the solar to save you expenditure on the solar system. Okay? And also, when you add water pumps, again, that adds, it's not just load, there's another electrical characteristic that needs to be considered, and that could impact the size of the inverter, i.e. make it larger. Okay, so these are all These are all issues or considerations that you must think about before purchasing your solar system. All right. Recent quotations again I've received for a lower system, for a 10 kilowatt inverter system from a couple of guys that I know, a couple of customers. One customer had a quote for 10 kilowatts. I'm just looking at the quote right now, and that amounted to a price of approximately 250,000 Ghana cedis, price in dollars on your screen. Okay, and then there was another price from another let's say competitor that amounted to about 100,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, so you know, what was the difference? So the one that's 250,000 Ghana cedis, the inverter has a warranty of 5 years, the battery has a warranty of 10 years, the solar panels have a warranty of 10 years as well. The one that's 100,000 Ghana cedis, the inverter has a warranty of 5 years, so the same as the other one. The batteries have a warranty of 5 years, okay, so that's a difference, 5 years less than the other one. But the solar panels also have a warranty of 10 years. So not much difference. Now, the reason why I say not much difference, even though the batteries have a 5-year difference in their warranty, is that the lithium-ion batteries would last at least 10 years anyway, okay? At least 10 to 15 years is known as a very acceptable lithium-ion battery life, 10 to 15 years. When it comes to the solar panels, 10-year warranty is great, but in reality, the solar panels can sit there for at least 25 years life, yeah? And with good maintenance, even more. Okay, so yeah, these are some considerations, but in the grand scheme of things, shouldn't make too much difference. Okay, the batteries in these two comparisons, the batteries that were being given were exactly the same as well, exactly the same quantity of batteries. Because where the huge cost is in the solar system is in the batteries in particular. Okay, the batteries, obviously the solar panels and the inverter, but the batteries more. Okay, so it's all about the Jaguar price or the Renault Kadjar price. Okay, but they all do the same thing, and that's a choice. That is one aspect of the affordability. Okay, the other aspect of affordability is which option do you go for? Option 1, bare essentials 5 kilowatts. Option 2, bare essentials plus 2 or 3 air conditioning units 10 kilowatts. Option 3, entire house 20 kilowatts. If you have a 4-bedroom house. Okay, these are the options. So when you weigh the options of what you want and the brands, okay, then hopefully you can get something that is affordable to you. All right. So I just wanted to present this brief video to you guys today. So I mean, what we've covered today is a recap on the solar systems, a recap on the videos we've done over the past 3 years and a year and a half ago. It appears that the solar market is really picking up. People are really procuring the solar systems, and I think it's a good idea. It's definitely a good idea now, because I think if you get the right brands and the right option, then yes, it's good. It's good to go for it. Okay, so yeah, simply because the ECG prices are becoming horrendous. If you imagine you have an occupied home, like the lady I told you about earlier on, if you have an occupied home and you're paying 150 Ghana cedis a day, 4,500 Ghana cedis a month, which is £300, or about $400. If you are not using ECG and you're using the power of the sun during the day, and the stored energy in your batteries at night, that you will quickly pay back for the solar system. Okay, you expend to invest capital expenditure in getting the solar system, but because of the savings on the ECG that you are not using, you quickly get your money back. So the ECG nonsense that is going on will make the payback on your solar system be reduced, and that is of greater good economics for you. Okay, now here is another thing that is happening. There is also a new standard in Ghana from the Electricity Corporation, and I'll share that on a separate video that talks about net metering, where they're beginning to introduce net meters. And a net meter is a meter whereby if you have a solar system, and let's say you're in a situation where you are generating more power than your house can use, okay, the excess, for example, let's say you're generating 10 kilowatts and your house is only using 5. The rest of the 5 is going back to ECG. Yeah, and over the years they've been using it for free. But now I've seen a standard where they're introducing net metering, which means they're going to allow you to benefit from the power you are sending back to the grid, back to the ECG. I don't know how exactly it's going to work. But there's a credit system. I looked into. I've got some contacts. I'll look into it and present it on another video. I think you get some credits onto your bill if you are generating power that serves ECG. So that's interesting. So that will make the solar even more attractive, because if you can get some financial gain by sending power to the ECG grid, yeah, then that makes solar even more worth it. Okay, that was one important factor that wasn't there 3 years ago. In the UK they call it feed-in tariff, where you got money for giving power back to the national grid. So with the net metering being introduced in Ghana, that is a plus. That is definitely a plus. Okay, so what I would advise you, if it was me, let's say you had a 4-bedroom house and you want it to be as economically as possible, I would say you either go for the bare option 1, 5 kilowatt, or option 2, 10 kilowatt, depending on what you want your solar to serve. And I would say don't go for the Jaguar option, go for the Renault Kadjar option. Okay, go for the Renault Kadjar option. That's what I do. Understand how your water system operates to guide you, so that you don't cause your solar system to malfunction, and you don't put it on the solar system when it doesn't need to be put on the solar system. Okay, so I would say contact us, AsherGad. You've got the number 050-625-1602. Calls via WhatsApp are preferred, because I've been up north a lot recently. We've got a big hospital project going on up north, so in other places the connection is not very good, hence the WhatsApp request. So if you have any questions, if you want any help with the solar system, any guidance, get in contact. We know a couple of good guys who are installing the solar system, so we can happy to guide you and to give you some contacts of the brands and any help that you may desire. Okay, all right, so I hope that was useful for those who are looking into solar, those who are considering solar. I would say go for it based on the recommendations I just gave, and wish you all the best. All right, so that's it for today, guys. From Gad is Chemist here. From me, guys, Yebeshia. See you next time.